Hey, Nick.
Hey, Chase.
It's that time again.
What time is it?
Time for
Fuck This Place!
I am in a hurry.
I don't want to get yelled at or whatever you call this guy, so.
Yeah, no, he's got a gun, so I'm not gonna say anything. Is my audio? Can you guys hear me? Is it good?
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
great.
All right.
You
I just
sound
listened to
fine.
Justin's episode. He sounded like shit, so I wanted to make sure I didn't sound
You
bad.
sound better than
Uh-huh.
Justin.
Yeah.
Good.
I mean, he didn't sound
honestly,
bad. He was fine.
Uh-huh.
He's fine, but I want to top him.
Yeah,
of
understandable.
course. We'll get
Both
there. We'll
sexually
make
and
sure it
audio,
happens.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a lot of different ways to top him. You know, audio.
That's what I wanted to talk about mainly was different ways to top Justin Clark.
You've actually like forced all the people in his life that he's worked for to reenact that, and you've just taken his place, you know? Like
Good,
you're back
good.
working at the golf course that he worked at and stuff, and his bosses are all afraid of you.
Wow.
Yeah.
A Groundhog Day situation.
Tell me I'm better than Justin, though. Tell me I'm better than Justin.
Look me in the eyes.
Should we introduce? We should intro the podcast, I guess. Welcome to Fuck This Place, the podcast about jobs with Chase and Nick. My name is Chase.
My name is Nick, and with us today we have another fantastic comedian. He is written for Disney, Comedy Central, and his stand-up is on Amazon Prime. He's everywhere, and he is with us now, Mr. Michael Burnett. Michael, how are you doing, brother?
I'm doing great, and I am everywhere. So I'm glad you said that. I am literally everywhere. So
That
no, I'm
background
good.
makes
I'm
it
good.
feel like you're everywhere.
For those who are just listening, Michael's got a very periwinkle background, and it seems like maybe we're on the inside of a robin's egg. You know, there's hope. It's a hopeful somewhere. It's not like a void of pain. You know, it's
No,
it's
I'm
sort of
a
like,
positive person. So.
yeah, it's like I could be delivering news to you, or I could be a doctor. You know, it could be
Your
anything.
choice. It's your choice, baby.
I will say I don't know the word periwinkle.
I said it twice now. And
Yeah,
I wanted to because I really think this is periwinkle. This is the color of periwinkle.
Whatever you told me, if you told me that this color is periwinkle, if you told me that periwinkles are like candies cowboys ate, whatever you told me, I'd have believed that.
Well, what I wanted to talk. I just got diagnosed with periwinkle, so I'm glad you guys are okay talking about it.
And it is terminal, and that's tough.
It is.
Yeah.
It's terminal. It's painful, but
it
I'm
can only be diagnosed by like a really cute cartoon character doctor.
You know,
you got periwinkle.
He's got one of those like straps with like the little light on his head.
Yeah.
A clip art doctor.
You got real bad periwinkle in there.
You're gonna die soon.
I will say there's a chance that I oversaid periwinkle here. I mean, periwinkle's supposed to be a blue with a touch of violet, and I think really we're in more of a robin's egg blue situation.
It's accurate. Robin's egg is accurate.
Okay, great. So, regardless, I said periwinkle, and that's my word of the day. So I feel good about it. Michael, we always start every podcast with a segment that we like to call "Fuck This Place?" where we decide if we would work somewhere or not. You're originally from Roseville, California, is that correct?
So that's where I graduated high school. That's where I had my first.
That's where you came
job.
up, so to speak.
Yeah, well, I moved there when I was
youth.
almost 16.
Got it. Where were you before that?
Oklahoma. That's
Oklahoma.
right.
I thought you were from Oklahoma.
Okay, that's what I thought too.
That's what we fucking thought.
Yeah, okay.
We fucking figured it out, but we're still looking at, in this case, the Roseville/Sacramento Craigslist, because this is, it's when you went to the job market, so to speak.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And so we have pulled 3 Craigslist posts. I'm going to read the title to all 3 of them. You are going to pick one before you, not even looking at it. That's an automatic fuck this place. Don't want to bother. And then we'll look at the 2 and decide if it would work there or not. Make sense?
Cool.
Okay, great. Title number 1 is casting : do you own a motorhome and want a lead role in a movie? And this is in Sacramento, mind you. Okay. Post number 2, looking for unskilled and skilled workers.
Okay.
Playing both sides. And final title is seeking Illustrator partner. So which one is an automatic, no touchy, the motorhome casting, unskilled and skilled laborers, or this Illustrator partner?
Let's get rid of motorhome casting. I don't trust any production that films or wants to film in that area of the country. So
yeah, because motorhomes the motorhome isn't the red flag, really, right?
No, it's the fact that they're doing it there. I don't trust that.
That's fine. Fuck that place. We don't care. Well, let's start with our good old fashioned looking for unskilled and skilled workers.
Oh, up in Placerville. Okay.
It is up in Placerville. So now we know that it's north of Sacramento? Is that?
Yeah.
Or just way out? Well,
northeast.
Out in the foothills
I
or
would say
mountains,
just a hard east, really.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Into the hills.
Scrabble east. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Everyone loves a hill person.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Okay,
for sure.
title again is looking for unskilled and skilled workers, and there's no pictures. And the text begins: looking for unskilled and skilled workers to train for a career in trees. Okay.
Mhm.
All right.
There's a lot of trees in the hills, and then their hills is what they say.
Right.
Are you tough?
All right. I'm out.
I think I read that wrong. I said it too nice. Are you tough? Can
Yeah.
you lift 100 pounds?
Uh-huh.
That seems like a huge qualifier, by the way.
Uh-huh.
I will train you to have a career and make real money.
Mhm.
New paragraph. My best worker was unskilled and was working fast food.
Mhm.
I take issue with you calling them unskilled, but that's fine. After
I already
4
know
years,
This guy's white.
Yeah.
now we know.
Yep.
After 4 years, he wanted to be a contractor, so I signed off on him, and I'm looking for somebody new to train. I really wonder about that. If you work at McDonald's, KFC, or any fast food or low-paying job, I will double your weekly pay. Don't be scared. Call me.
Mhm.
I am scared. I'm sorry. All I want is a hard worker. I will teach. Yeah, go ahead.
At this point, he's like writing this up like this guy's probably scared.
Uh-huh.
I better reassure him.
Yeah.
It does feel like a person who's trying to put like a mouse to sleep by choking it, with its fingers. Like, yo, don't be scared. Don't be scared. Call me. All I want is a hard worker. You're not a hard worker. I will teach you the skills. I will teach you the skills to better yourself. Most workers in El Dorado County, El Dorado Hills, Cameron Park, Shingle Springs, Placerville, Camino. Text me your name and number. I am working and do not have time to answer the phone. I will call you back when I'm done working. Compensation
Okay, but
box.
he says, "Don't be scared. Call me." But then he says, "Don't call me."
Yeah.
So this guy's he's giving me misleading directions here. And
Yeah.
also, if you're working, and clearly this guy worked with his hands,
Mm.
it's way easier to answer the phone and keep working with your hands versus put down your hammer and daintily text somebody back or whatever. So this guy's all over the place.
That's a solid point. Like, put him on speakerphone.
Yeah, what are you talking about, dude?
What do you care?
You're,
hold on. Yeah, another question is, if you're a construction guy, don't you have those old relic Bluetooth things that like truckers wore?
Oh, for sure. It's
2002?
permanently in his ear. Yeah, permanently.
Just like, talk to me,
Unless he's just too busy poaching 16-year-olds from KFC to like pick up your phone call.
And he's not just poaching. I feel like he's walking in, putting a bag over their head and carrying them out of KFC.
Who here is the most unskilled? Who has the least skills? I'm going to
tell me Charlie sucks. Charlie sucks. Let's go for him.
The worst one. Charlie's the worst one.
In a tree.
I'm going to put
Charlie.
Right.
The only way I can know if you're tough is if you can lift 100 pounds. Can you lift 100 pounds? That's the only way you can be tough in life. So
there's only one way. Oh, I forgot to mention before we officially said that we've read all of the text. Compensation box is $15 an hour to $4 an hour, depending on experience. Sorry, work hard, get paid more. And it's like, experience, bro. You just said you need an unskilled worker, so I know you're going to start me at 15.
Yeah, which you might not like it, but that is not double what they pay at McDonald's.
That's not.
It might be more, but it's not double.
It's not double. It is not double.
Well, hold on. If I do the math on the top of that range there, if he's offering 40 an hour, let's do 40 times 40. That's 1,600 a week times 4, 6,400 a month.
Okay.
That's a good case. He's offering 76.8 is what he's offering.
Yeah, I mean, listen, 40 an hour is nothing to cough at. I mean, especially
it's nothing to not get a tree for. You pay
especially if you've just been working at KFC getting fucking screamed at all day. You're like, oh, I can scream at the trees now. That's great.
That's perfect.
I do wonder this little story this person likes to tell. Like my best worker was unskilled and was working fast food. After 4 years, he wanted to be a contractor. So I signed off on him, and I'm looking for somebody new to train. And I have questions because go ahead.
Yeah. I'll say this is clearly past tense. After 4 years, he wanted to be a contractor, so I signed off. I feel like he's hinting at that he killed him and he's buried in his backyard. I signed off on him. So
I signed off that fucking guy.
Well, yeah,
he wanted to move on.
Yeah, well, yeah, it sounds like this guy was just like, actually, I got a new job, and then he's thinking like, and I said, okay, cool, goodbye.
Correct. Like, the sign off is what I'm so concerned about. Yeah, it could be murder, or it's like you sign off. Like this guy wants to be a contractor for. Let's just imagine best case scenario. This contractor is a new tree guy. He's like, I want to be a new tree guy.
Yeah.
right? And you, the person who's trained this person for 4 years, who I'm guessing is a little selfish.
Sure.
Like, absolutely, I give you my full blessing to be my competitor right now, starting immediately. and for some reason, there is like a brotherhood of tree guys that I am going to initiate you into. I'll sign off on you. You're like, you can't just, I mean, I'm sure there's some certifications, but like, surely that guy could get those certifications himself, especially if he's making $40 an hour. He could just go get certified, you know, like, yeah,
I don't need you to sign off on shit. I'm going.
Yeah. I mean, again, I'm sure there's licenses, right? I'm sure there's stuff, right? But do you need this guy specifically to like put you into the blood ritual that makes you, your own tree guy? I think.
Look, if you want to get into the ministry of the oak tree, you're gonna need someone to vouch for you. Okay? Need someone to sign off on this.
Yes. Who is this newcomer among us?
Guys, he can lift 100 pounds. I sign off on it. If he lifts 100, he's good to go.
With my own eyes, I saw him lift.
Yeah. So again, that's best case scenario is that he initiated them into the new like Shriners or whatever. But like, I also think that like, again, this guy just left, this guy left and he was like, I deem you a man now. It's not good. And also the fact that there's like, I'm looking for somebody new to train, right? Like you only work with one other person.
Yeah. Why is it skilled or unskilled workers plural in the first sentence, and then he's only looking for one special
somebody.
Boy,
one special strong boy who's tired of flipping burgers that are 100 pounds each.
Yeah, it to me it's feels very weird that he. Like, I understand that, like, working fast food, flipping burgers, like, that's like kind of the crappy low-hanging fruit trope you can say about a shitty job.
Yeah.
But he like doubles down on it a lot. Like, it feels like he really is interested in fast food workers and stuff, which makes me feel like he's into like young kids. Because that's who's working those jobs.
Come to me.
Yeah. It's just like, I don't think he's after like the really like the very short, very fat Mexican dude that works there occasionally. He's after the kids that are there,
Suburban young white to go with him on his white jobs.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. I mean, again, like it just seems like there's a lot of places where you can get skilled and unskilled workers who are almost not guaranteed able to lift 100 pounds, but are certainly like in the ballpark. You know what I mean? Like you pull up to a Home Depot and you're like, hey, everybody, treat time, someone is qualified,
Yeah.
So, I'm going to say no. Because I was scared from the very beginning when someone asked me, am I tough? Because that means
if you ask me that up front, I'm not doing it. No.
Yeah. So I'm not tough, and no, fuck this place.
Yeah. I'm in the same boat. I'm out. I also don't want to be like the one old guy that's there working with all these kids.
That's
true.
Just
like,
just surrounded by to like Stone Temple Pilots and stuff.
Well, let me offer the other side of that. If you're the one old guy, and I say old, but I think I'm older than both of you. So
no, but relative to them, like
relative
to a 19, even a 19-year-old, if you're 30, you are beyond the
basically
grave.
Dead. Yeah.
You're going to die soon. And I feel like you have a unique chance here if you take the job to be like the cool older guy that they all tell stories about forever.
Because you bought a lot of Smirnoff.
You have a chance to leave a legacy.
That's true.
And
That's
so,
true.
but still, even still, I'm going to say fuck this place.
Yeah, fine. Okay, well, post number 2, title is Seeking Illustrator Partner. And this is just pure Sacramento, baby. No pictures, which I guess that makes sense if they're seeking an illustrator. And it says, it just starts, I have hundreds of domains.
Don't come to me like I don't got domains. I got fucking hundreds of domains. All right, back off.
This guy this person. Okay, I'm sorry. I have to pause for a very quick story. In my like senior year of high school, there was like this bar that doesn't exist anymore in my hometown, Asheville, North Carolina, that had like an 80s night on Thursday night, and they let, for some reason, people under 21 in. But my friends and I were like, this is great. And so I'll be honest, I was not the cool guy. The rest of my friends got fucking wasted, and I like drove them there and we hung out, whatever. And it was great. It was just like dancing to 80s, whatever. There was one night, I'm just thinking, this person, I have hundreds of domains. This made me think of this person. We are hanging out not outside, and some motherfucker got kicked out, and he begins like just screaming into the doorway of the 80s night, and everybody's just fucking staring at him. And his main threat is, I'm going to leave. I'm going to work out. I'm going to be back in 6 months and I'm going to beat your fucking ass. Oh man. He's like, I'm going to get so fucking jacked.
Right now, I can't do this, but eventually.
Yeah. I just think that guy would end the entirety of that with, I have hundreds of domains.
By the way, I am big online.
Okay. Anyway, so we're carrying on. The text continues. Many would make incredible t-shirt slogans, and many are perfectly suited for t-shirt illustrations. Many domains. Okay. Sorry. We'll circle back. It's really short.
Yeah.
Since I'm a word person and can't draw or design, I'm looking for someone to partner with, in parentheses, partner, someone who doesn't get paid unless we make money. That's correct. Okay. Someone doesn't get paid unless
he's a word person. He's a word person. Okay.
Yeah, you're the work we make. We would split everything 50-50 from t-shirt sales. I'm a professional writer. Are you? And the domains run the gamut from politics to the environment to just plain silly. And this is in parentheses. There are also many fun haiku, which would look good on t-shirts too.
No, they would not.
I don't think so. Never seen a haiku on a shirt that I've liked.
Nope.
I would need to see your work first. Woo! Yeah. And then compensation says money dependent on sales, employment type, employee choice, and job title is reiterated for some reason. Illustrator partner. Wow.
Okay.
A lot of balls on this person.
Yeah. No, thanks. I don't want any part of hanging out with this guy and listening to whatever book he's currently only 30 pages into that he's trying to tell me has changed his life. And now he's on a new path.
Have you seen Atlas Shrugged? Have you read Atlas Shrugged? I swear it's so good, dude.
By Anil Randall.
By Anil Rand.
I don't think, okay, first of all, I don't think you're a word person, pal.
He's not. He thinks he is. He's not.
Because you said, though we make money. And I'm just thinking that's not a thing that a word person would do. Also, just to be really picky, you have put a parenthetical in under the we make money sentence. And inside the parentheticals are quotation marks, which says you don't understand grammar either. Maybe you say you're into words.
Yeah. Hey, let's talk about this murderer's row of punctuation. Here, period, punctuation, parenthetical, period. Well, it looks like a face he's making it.
Yeah, I know. It
is that.
It's basically like the Joker face, when your smile's all sideways and you're real sad.
The guy just ripping a line and like one eye closed.
Yeah,
a nasal drip going on there.
Period, in quotation, in parenthesis, period. It's a lot. That's a lot going on right there. I don't think you're a professional writer in any way. If you were a professional writer, you would give me one thing that you wrote in, right?
Right. Yeah, you can see my work here.
Correct. And then the fact that you think haikus should be on shirts says
red flag number 1 right there.
I mean, red flag number 9. And then it makes me very not pleased that you are asking me to see my work first, as if you have proven yourself in the last 4 sentences.
I also say he's the domains run the gamut, right? So you're expecting like domains from sports to finance or whatever, and it's politics and environment. I guarantee all of the domains he has are like right wing, like let's go Brandon, shit like that.
Climate change is a hoax. .net.
Yeah, to just plain silly. Another let's go Brandon with like a smiley face on it.
Let's go Brandon. It's Joe Biden. Let's go Brandon. It's Joe Biden. .edu. What I don't understand is, like, let's imagine that I respect you at all and I am interested in this. You're telling me that you have let's just say the t-shirt is like climate change isn't real, .co, and I'm going to make a t-shirt. Why do you need a web site? why
do you need an illustration as well? That's for the t-shirt.
I don't get it. I mean, you could literally, this person, also is not versed in any way in e-commerce, because you could literally just set up an Etsy, or I don't know if there's like an alt-right Etsy or whatever, but it's just all of those slogans. You don't have to have, individual causes for a website, right? People actually don't go really to a website anymore. Like
to get a shirt,
back in 2002, I forget, there was some like super funny like ninja website. It was like realseriousninjas.net or something. And we thought, me and my friends thought it was so fucking funny. And they sold t-shirts, directly from the website, but now it's a Shopify thing. So you don't even know, even if this was a soon to be successful endeavor, you don't even know what the fuck you're doing. So I don't want to know more than you. Please.
Did you wear the ninja t-shirts when you were sober driving your friends to the 80s bar? Because I know you bought some of them.
I actually did not buy a ninja shirt. We just made our own because we're idiots. I don't know.
On a white shirt. You wrote ninjas on it.
Just said ninjas are cool or something. We did. I did have a screen printing phase, that's for sure. But no, no, I think I was just wearing probably just I had a white Gap shirt that had like ringlets on it, just love that.
Oh, for sure.
Love a ringlet.
Yeah.
Early aughts.
Oh yeah.
No haikus, not one to be seen or found. So yeah, I'm gonna say no. No.
Yeah, I'm out too. I just get these vibes like he had some serious tears in his eyes when he was writing this post. And
hundreds of domains. I want to sell these t-shirts,
and I I'll show you, Sandy. I think I think that's the vibe you're getting the whole time. I think you're fielding a lot of the work while he's on the phone with his girlfriend.
Yeah.
And so
I'm saying yes. I'm saying yes. I'm going to do this because I can't draw, but I feel like I could submit something that would make this guy really excited. And I also know, based on this post, that I can absolutely manipulate this person into taking 100% of the profits for myself. 100%.
Yeah, and if he ever accuses you of like, oh, hey, you can't draw, you're like, yeah, well, you can't word, my guy.
You can't write, would you?
So we're a match made in heaven. I'm the only one who responded to this post.
Yeah, right. You can just throw a bunch of punctuation on the floor and he'll trip over all of it.
All right. Well, in the meantime, I guess fuck this place. Heyo, what's up, everybody?
What's going on, guys?
Hey, did you know that you can text this podcast? The number is 470-223-5627. That's 470-223-5627. We take your side, by the way. That's an automatic position. If you text us, we're on your side.
Yeah, I don't give a damn about your boss. You think I'm going to protect that guy? I hate that guy. I hate that guy. I got your back. We got your back here.
Absolutely. If we're this is like a weirdo, like sleazy lawyer commercial. I mean, we're on your side to a point,
Mm-hmm. I'm wearing a goofy suit right now.
I'm wearing a brown tie. Couldn't tell you why. If you need to talk shit about something, like we're your shit talking team. All you gotta do is text 470-223-5627. That's 470-223-5627. We're on your side.
Michael, what is the first job you ever had?
First job, aside from like mowing lawns and shit like that, I worked at Target in Roseville. I was a cart attendant.
Oh wow, that was the title.
That was the title.
They really hated you then, yeah.
And it morphed into. I was never allowed to touch the registers. I was never allowed to touch the merchandise, but I was allowed to clean the bathrooms if our bathroom guy was on break. So
if the bathroom guy was on break, whoa.
Yeah.
Wow,
so I'm
lucky you.
It was great. No, it was. I got to use a motorized cart pusher and everything. And
so there's a chance. Just real quick, there's a chance if the bathroom guy's on break, like you're in there cleaning the bathroom and he's taking a dump in there.
There's a chance I'm cleaning up his shit afterwards.
As whoa.
Yeah.
Wow. What a life.
Yeah. It was. I was. Making my $225 a week or whatever it was, working 2 days after school for 4 hours. And I remember the first, the day before the job, of course, you had to go get a red polo or a red shirt or something.
Yeah.
And I thought it was cool, and I wore it. I wore the red polo to school that day.
Tight.
And all the popular girls were like, "What, did you get a job at Target?" And I was like, "No,
absolutely not.
no."
I will not see you in the parking lot of that Target later.
The
The only one in
Target
town.
that you all go to, I will see you not there. I won't see you there.
I won't see you getting slushies or whatever, or coming out with popcorn in your hands.
No.
Yeah, did you ever get any popcorn at that Starbucks? Do they have popcorn?
Yeah. Oh yeah. That was back when Target didn't have Starbucks yet. It had like a Pizza Hut with the 3 little mini pizza options and hot dogs and popcorn. So
right.
Oh,
Yeah, back before stores realized that they're like, a coffee is a much better thing to have to like sell to shoppers. You know what I mean? Like to
just
like get a
popcorn.
Yeah, or like a pizza.
Right.
Like again, I know you're in a tight spot, so like sure, yeah, let's just get some pizza, whatever.
Yeah.
But like it's much more likely that like a plurality of these customers could use some coffee. Right.
Sure. Yeah. But not like just housing a slice while they're walking
right.
around.
Just like a whole slice of fucking pepperoni, you know, on the way out the door.
There's just like a meeting with creative, and they're just kind of like, hey, yeah, we're going to stop making our customers so sleepy when they're in the store. They're getting real tired and
people falling asleep,
breathing real heavy and kind of sweaty.
Yeah, they can't breathe through all the popcorn in their mouth.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, we got to change it up a little bit here.
So then your shift was like, did you ever go inside? I mean, were you just like outside most of the time, or?
You could come inside to like put the carts up, but you were, if I remember correctly, like kind of expected to be outside, whether it's cold, hot, like, raining, whatever.
Yeah, Michael, I'm gonna need you outside in that NorCal sun. I'm sorry.
You gotta get it.
You gotta be in that NorCal sun. That's 110 degrees, 9 days straight. I need you.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That was it was. I remember there was one time. It was like the Christmas rush, and the car. It was at Target's. It's slammed. No one is without everybody has a cart.
Of course,
so if you're coming in to shop, there are no carts available.
Yeah.
And some like entitled older white woman was like told me to go get her a cart, and I like motioned at the store like, do you see any carts?
Yeah.
And then she went and told my boss, and I got in trouble. But that was the first time I ever like talked back to an adult, and I was like, I'm a bad boy.
I'm a bad boy. Me and my carts. I'm a king of carts.
Yeah.
Were there other cart boys, or there were just on a shift, or was it just like one?
Oh yeah. The cart boys were on shift from open to close, and there was a nice fraternity of us that really knew how to manipulate the cart pusher and knew how to get 18 carts in a line. If you push them one way, the front would go one way, and we were highly skilled workers.
Yeah, you do eventually become. I mean, who could move that many carts all at once? But a cart boy.
The only crazy strong 17-year-old high school seniors. That's all.
Yeah. Right. All. This is a dangerous folk, the cart boy.
Did any of the other cart boys, they go to your school? Were you destigmatized by the time you arrived, or you're like, nah, fuck, I'll never wear that stupid ass polo again?
Dude, all the other cart boys were like grown men. So I was the only one that was in high school.
Yeah, people with regrets.
So there were people that were working like 8-hour shifts doing their cart boy shifts, and they were,
oh my gosh,
disgruntled human beings.
Yeah, I bet. So,
Yeah.
I
mean, if you in some sense like a joyous 17-year-old with the entire world, like ahead of you and or on your shoulders, did one like flourish motion, one grumpily flourish motion to a lady who wanted cards, then these dudes are probably, they might be a little salty.
Yeah, a little bit. Although they did, I remember I kind of became a laughing stock. You talk about the NorCal sun. There was one. I don't remember what my thought process was, but I had just shaved my genitals, right? I had just, I thought I was going to get some that weekend.
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
And I thought, when you're like 17, you're like, well, I've seen in pornographic films that gentlemen take care of themselves.
Oh, this is what they like. Yeah.
Gentlemen dip their balls in acid. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, but what I didn't understand was that, a freshly shaved pieces of flesh that are rubbing against each other in the sun are probably going to get raw and red. And ended up giving myself an insane rash down there because it was so hot, and I was working like a longer than normal Saturday afternoon shift.
Right.
And so I was like hobbling, like limping, bow-legged around the store. And they're like, "What's wrong with the cart boy?" And the other guys that I work with knew that I had some taint issues, but that's a memory from Target is a rashed taint.
Oh man, yeah. You got the red taint. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, it matched the polo and everything.
He was stricken with the red taint.
Yeah, he's going for red taint. He does. He can't work today. He's going for red taint.
He's got the red taint. As you see the Burnett kid out there. Yeah, he's got stricken with red taint. That's why he walked like a cowboy. See that?
That's why he is bow-legged, like he just got off the range.
Just let him sit on that stupid. Target didn't have these, but Walmart did. Those little horsies on the front, you know. Target got rid of those.
And we didn't have those. We were a professional organization.
Targets were fine,
right.
you know.
Yeah.
So I got rid of pizza. So just also want to clarify, this red polo isn't a Target polo. It was just a polo that was red that you bought yourself.
I believe I bought it at Target.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
but
to show them that I was serious about. It didn't have a logo. Target? It was just like it wasn't. It was just a red polo, not branded.
Yeah. But they made you
all
buy
the popular
it.
girls knew. Yeah. They knew.
Man, that's crazy. They probably just carry those polos for people like you. The rest. I feel like the rest of the employees have real Target on their
some
shirts.
of them did. Yeah. So the managers all had their Target polos tucked into their khakis and things like that. So which glad you were talking about earlier, the guys being like 19 thinking that you're so old at 30. I can remember my managers were like 31, 32, and I was like, these old fucks, they're so sad. God, they're so old.
These little piece of shit old. I mean, they got canes and everything.
Yeah. Oh, they don't got it figured out like me, and then you're walking around.
No, I was very, very intelligent back then. I knew what I was talking about.
Super intelligent, just fire engine red balls.
Just horrible balls. So.
Oh, that's the one thing you got on me, okay? Is that my balls?
Okay, guys, yeah.
Okay. And here's there for a reason.
Baby powder while I'm here.
Wow. So how long was your tour of duty, shall we say?
I served at Target all my senior year through that summer, and then I feel like I also worked there in the breaks in college. I would come back home.
Yeah. Very reliable, a corporate employee. They'll take you back for the holidays or whatever, you know. Well, even if you do gesture at old women sometimes.
Yeah, well, I was so valuable. But then I got sick during the holiday break, like really, really sick, like flu, crazy sick. And I could not work. And my mom called the store to say, hey, my son is extremely sick. And the manager yelled at my mom for her not finding a replacement. And she was like, well, you're not going back to work there. And I was like, that's perfect.
That's great. That's so great that she yelled at your mom.
I was like, who the fuck are you talking to?
Yeah.
This is Diane, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, he was like, your manager was like, oh, let me guess, his balls are too red again.
Oh,
your mom was like, what? I don't even know what that means. What do you mean his balls are too red?
She was like, Michael, show me your balls. Show me your balls.
Show me your balls. So why is your boss know so much about your balls, son?
That's Target for you, baby.
I do love the insistence that manager is so brainwashed that they're like, you didn't cover his shit. Like, how can you come in?
Yeah, Dana, get off the couch. Get in here.
Yeah,
we need someone. We need someone.
Cards.
And we're out of people. We've asked every other child in town.
we went to every school.
We can't do it. It just can't happen.
How are people going to find carts?
Idiots. They can't do it. They need somebody.
What a sad person that is. Yell at a grown woman.
Yeah.
You know, and is that hamstrung, you know, just like my life is so tough. You're in a tough spot, I guess. You're out one cart boy.
But there's other people that are on shift.
There's other cart boys.
It didn't make any sense. Yeah. It never made any sense to me. So
but it was nice that you got off the hook too, because you're like, oh fuck.
Yeah. Luckily she got yelled at like I would. So she knew what I was talking about when I was like,
right. Yeah. Okay, you ready, Chase?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, Michael. So that was your first job ever. What would you say is the worst job you've ever had?
Ooh, I've had a bunch. The worst job I've ever had. Two for different reasons. The first one, when I first moved to LA, fresh out of college. This was 2008, right in the recession, and I applied to 119 different companies I applied to. Didn't get a call back or an interview from any of them.
Yeah, because they're all.
And then finally, my mom had called me and she was like, "If you don't get a job, we can't pay your rent in LA. You gotta leave or come home or something." And the next day, I got a call from this ad agency that I applied to months before, and I got my degree in advertising, so this is perfect. And so I go to work at this ad agency. It was do you guys know what direct response advertising? It's like infomercials and shit like that.
Right, yeah, like direct to consumer stuff. Like especially 2008, that was really dumb and weird and shitty. Like now, with like, again, like e-commerce, like it's like there's a bunch of companies that are just like, yeah, we do shoes and all we do is,
it's just DTC. Yeah.
DTC, baby.
DTC. So, but at the time it was all infomercials and like,
phone numbers to call. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And like spam, like mail, like physical mail that we would send out to people. And the guys that worked there took it so seriously. And I hated it.
Yeah.
And my boss was this guy who, looking back, is younger than I am now, but I thought he was just an old miserable fuck.
Yeah, well, but he was a miserable fuck,
He was miserable for sure. But he had moved to LA to be like a screenwriter.
Oh,
and that didn't work out. And so he got a job as a copywriter at this ad agency, and he was a miserable piece of shit. He would yell at everybody, yell at me. He would yell at, like, whenever we would order, like we were working until 8 or 9 p.m. He would order food and yell at the person on the phone and like, make it snappy, and hang the phone up. And I was like, fuck these guys. So it was a small agency. So I had my creative director was the big boss, and then the copywriter and the designer. The copywriter was the one I reported to. He was an asshole. And then the designer was, for all intents and purposes, a nice guy, but was before Asperger's became like a catchword for everybody. My cousin is on the spectrum, and so I had a lot of experience with that, and how to interact,
like recognize some of
recognize it and understand they might not understand your social cues, things like that. But the guy that was the designer was on the spectrum somewhere, and would just blow up into screaming, yelling bouts if ever I did something he thought was incorrect, even though like I had written down the instructions that he had said. And so I would get in yelling matches with this old Japanese guy and then get yelled at by my boss. And it would just happen all the time. And it was the kind of place where you'd show up at 8 a.m. and you could not leave until your boss said, okay, the work is done, now you can leave. So every day I had to check in with my boss and be like, hey, it's 7:30. Can I go home? Yeah. And he, it was more often than not a no. But it was that kind of thing where like because at night I would be going to open mics and seeing people who were just about to like, blow up in comedy and all that. And I was like, man, those guys love what they do. And then I would come to the office every morning and see guys that just hated every day, but didn't know what else to do. And then they transported that sourness and that hate onto you. And so I worked there for like a year and a half.
Jesus Christ.
And it was so
although that does speak to the recession though. I mean, like that 2008 time, man, was like,
well, I didn't have a choice, right?
If you get a job, it's just like, fuck, this is it, man. Like I know there's nothing else out there.
There's nothing I can do. And I had like credit card debt and student loan debt, and I had card payments to make and all this stuff. And I don't have any other choices here. I have to do this. And the work we were doing did not matter. Like advertising, by and large, does not matter. It's just to get somebody to buy something.
Yes.
But they took it so seriously, and every little like word or design or whatever was life and death, and I just didn't care.
And they're designing like fucking like cards that have like a free magnet on them or something.
Shit like that, or like writing scripts for infomercials. Like we did a Save the Children campaign where
you're getting yelled at by Save the Children for Save the Children.
Oh, dude, like on client calls with Save the Children people who were like, the kids aren't sad enough. So that was.
I don't even want to save these ones.
No, fuck these guys. So that was the worst one from like just a pure job standpoint. And also like, so I worked there for a year and a half, and they gave me a raise after a year from like, 28.5 to 32 or something like that, something like at the poverty line even then. And when I got the raise, the CFO, whoever she was, that brought me into the office to meet with me, literally said, hey, you're getting a raise. I don't know how you survive on this, but here you go. And I was like, well, if you're saying that, maybe bump it up a little bit. Jesus Christ, I'm trying to eat. In this money that you're giving me that I can't survive on it.
Yeah, well, I would say that in some sense, finally someone has said the quiet part out loud.
Oh, 100%. I was like, oh, so you get it, but you understand why I don't give a shit.
Like if you're a CFO, of course you fucking know how much it costs to live in LA, right? Of course you know.
And you're telling me to my face that this is not enough money to live, but here you go.
Here, fuck off.
Yeah. So that sucked.
There's like, will yelling at you more help?
Actually, if you wouldn't mind just raise your voice a little bit, just to really beat me down.
Can't raise the prices? Let's just raise some voices, you know?
I would love that. And I remember, I'll get into my other
yeah,
we'll
stick on this one for a minute. We'll get to the other one. We're gonna marinate.
This is this sounds heavier than it is, but when I was working there, in like the span of like 2.5 weeks, one family dog like suddenly had a brain tumor, had a seizure, and died. The other dog was much older and used the younger dog that had just died as like a guide dog because the older dog was blind. And so when the young dog died, the older dog fell in the pool and drowned.
Oh my God.
And so the other dog died. And then like 2 days later, my girlfriend like tried to kill herself on the phone with me. And so like I went to my boss and I was like, hey, I'm breaking down emotionally. I got to go home. They were like, no.
Well,
why don't you sit down? You can take a half day, but you can't go home now. So that I have a lot of negative memories of that job, both for the job and for what happened.
Yeah, of course. Right. So, my life is in turmoil.
Yeah.
I can't go on.
I don't care about this credit card design. I don't care. Someone, and to be clear, she's fine now. It's all good. Yeah. But like at the time, I was like, this is really sad stuff. I'd love to go home. They're like, but if you could order coffee for us before you go.
Yeah. So what were your responsibilities?
I mean, I was a glorified admin assistant. Like I thought that my title was creative coordinator. And I thought, like, I didn't give a shit about advertising school either. I chose that because when I went to college, I chose theater and then quit that because I didn't want to do all the costume and like theater history side of it. And I found a major that my math requirements were already completed. And so I was like, I'll just do that.
Yeah.
And so I thought that getting in, this was going to be like the creative side of advertising, getting to write funny shit, getting to design funny shit. Right. And all I ended up doing was like answering phones, cold calling other companies to see if they needed advertising.
Shit, you're just like a sales kid.
Don't. Yeah. And then I would get coffee and pick up lunch and just stay late and every night and see if they needed me to go print something or fix. I fixed the printer all the time.
Man, isn't it fucking we gotta talk about printers for just a fucking second.
That's a hot topic.
Because what happened to us, as a species, as a people, right? Like the number of, like, I've not even had that many office jobs, but like the ones that I have, it's like, what the fuck is going on with printers?
Why do they always fucking break?
Like, what is wrong? Surely somebody could make printer that do good, right? And then charge triple the price of every other printer that ever existed, and be like, no, this one just works though.
Yeah, you don't have to unjam it. You don't have to have some fresh out of college kid to come and get on his hands and knees and clean up toner. It just works.
That's all. Like, I mean, it's crazy that like one person ends up becoming like the whisperer. You like the fonts. You know what I mean? Like you fucking bump it, and it gets going. I was
the whisperer. Yeah.
You get inside. You become like some kind of
right
like mad scientist. Yeah. Just get you get like your pinky and get that one wheel. Just like
there it is.
And it just blows my mind that nobody's talking about this across the nation for the last 50 years. Like there has been employed at each individual office per printer one person whose job it is to just zhuzh it.
just touch it just so. Just a little bit, but only you know how to do it. And you're the only one that can.
And it's not because you're the only one who knows how. It's because you're the only one who's forced to learn.
Right. And that's exactly what happened. That's exactly what I was doing.
They're just like, you troubleshoot it, and then from then on, everybody just feigns like, the mystery of this printer.
I feel like I used to get calls on the weekend because they'd be in the office and I would have to go in on the weekend to fix a printer or just try to talk them through if they were feeling generous, and I wouldn't have to come in, just talk them through or have to pull the paper out.
And also in so many cases, what do you need to print so bad?
We went through reams and reams of paper every week because they needed to see the design on paper as if the computer version was not the same.
Just not it, can't do it. Can't get a bigger monitor. Or whatever the fuck it is. I mean, I get it. Sometimes you do need to print some stuff. And I understand this people, they got to print the design or whatever. But like so many people just printing shit with just like 2 words on it. You're like, what are you doing, bro? What are we doing? Anyway, so that's my
Well, I tell you this, the only advantage that I got from that job was they provided an office computer And because it was a creative sort of environment, so they said there was like different creative applications we could use, Photoshop, whatever.
Yeah,
and
the
so
Adobe suite. Yeah.
So I would spend time like designing this, again, this is 2008, 2009. I would design my own business cards because I was convinced that as comics, we had to have funny business cards.
Yeah, it's got to have it's got to have a little quip on the back there.
Oh, it's got to be so funny. It's got to have, you know, your contact info, your headshot on it. And I would use all the heavy card stock, like the really nice glossy cards. I can print off thousands of business cards, convinced that I'd be handing them out to everybody that saw me ever perform. Like, you need to see me again. And I've still got probably 500 of them somewhere in a box.
They're of just course. Terrible. Yeah. And those are the ones you didn't burn.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, just sadly on the Santa Monica, like off Santa Monica Pier, you know, you just have a little trash fire going. I was like, fuck this. I'm gonna fucking kill myself. Fuck this. Well, I'm gonna go ride the Ferris wheel now. And that's it. That's great. That's just great. And well, hold on. You did have a fair amount of downtime, it sounds like.
I would create downtime by not doing my work, basically.
Yeah. And they don't know how fast it's supposed to happen. So
yeah. So
when your dogs died, like what exactly was the response to what? Because that blew my mind. Your dog suddenly died.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other dog was like, me too. And I'm going.
Yeah, it's like, I'm out.
Yeah, I'm out too. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
It
was really more like
when the first one died.
Sorry, go ahead.
Slip into the pool. When the first one died, I had never experienced that, and so I was very upset. And I went to my boss, and I was like in tears, like, hey, my beloved dog just randomly died. And my big boss, the creative director, was a nicer old man, and he was like, go home. This time you can go home for the first one. And when the second one died a couple of days later, he said to me, and I quote, "Your life is like a country song." And I was like, that's so nice. I don't know what you're trying to say, but I couldn't go home for that. But the initial response was one of like, okay, cool. When the second dog died, it was like, bullshit. We don't believe you. We don't believe that.
Right.
You already used this one. You can't use it again.
Yeah. Oh, you're telling me that this other dog trusted this other dog with its life, huh?
Wait, you tell me you had two dogs? No one has two dogs.
No, shut up. Two dogs.
Two dogs that you got maybe around the same time?
Bullshit.
They may or may not be friends.
A bonded pair. Okay, go back to work, you idiot.
We're trying to figure out a way to put funny sunglasses on an egg to make people buy these eggs. All right.
Oh
man, the sunglasses on an egg—that's just a goof right there. Great, it's a great
60 people working on that project.
Dude,
it's too high. The glasses are too high. No, that's the sunglasses. That's the nose of the egg.
Yeah, you just hear someone shoot themselves in the head in the back, driven mad by the madness of the egg.
Bill couldn't take it. Bill's gone.
Who's gonna do Bill's work?
Where's Printer Boy? Get Printer Boy over here. He can do it.
The sunglasses can't have arms. It just balances on the egg. It looks too weird.
Get this.
It is the question. How would you do that?
That was one. The other bad job, unless you guys want.
No, please carry on.
The other bad job. I was the one of like 4 city managers for Postmates in LA. In my late 20s, and so I was the one who was like giving all the orientation speeches. And if anyone listens to this and they joined Postmates from like 2015 to 2017, I'm the one that like trained them or whatever. But the other part of my job that was awful was whenever you give someone a bad rating on Postmates, at least back then, they could only get so many bad ratings before we had to turn off their account and they could no longer deliver. And so they would come in and ask for their job back. And half the time it was like crying women who were fresh immigrants who didn't really speak English and didn't really understand the like American like customer service culture and things like that.
Right.
And so I would have to like listen to their sob stories and be like, I cannot give you your job back. I'm sorry, I'm required to do this. And then the other half of the people that would lose their job, it was always Eastern European men. So like people from, since Russia's hot right now, like a lot of Russian men.
Armenian dudes.
Dude, they were like mean and gruff and didn't care about the order. They just grab a bag and take it. but also were like creepy and wildly homophobic. Not all of them, but we had a lot of people who were like, yeah, the driver called me the F word, and so I'm gonna give him a 1 star. And one time, so I had to deal with that, and it was awful, like over and over and over, telling people that you can't just like insult people when you drop their food off. That's not how we do it at this company or in the world. You don't do it at all.
Yeah.
But then there was there was one guy, this Russian guy who we had to keep our eye on because he'd gotten some bad ratings, but we gave him another chance. And then we got a report that he was in a restaurant, like calling the host staff like homophobic slurs and going to tables, like looking at their food while he was waiting for the order to come out, being like, yeah, only F words order that, or only,
oh my fucking God.
Just being a complete asshole. And so I called him in, and I was the only straight man of the 4 guys that worked. Everyone else was gay, which is important for this story.
I would say so.
But it was also my job to talk to the people that would come in because they all had different responsibilities or whatever. Yeah. And so I called this guy in, and I told the guy, I was like, hey, just so you know, this is what this guy did. He's coming in. He's going to try to get his job back. I'm going to tell him no. And what my boss that I worked with was like a total badass dude. Like, and it's the kind of guy that if you crossed him, he not only like he could physically beat you up, but like verbally could just dress you down. And I'd heard him do it to so many people. Very nice guy, but you didn't want to cross him. And so I was like, let me just handle this one. I'll get him out of here nicely. And so he came in, and I was like, hey, he's like, why is my account off? Or, why can't I work? And I was like, well, we got this report that you were doing this unbelievably inappropriate thing, and so we can't turn it back on. And he goes, and this was the Monday after the Pulse nightclub shooting, to like put it in perspective.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so like the vibe is not like super good. Tolerant here.
No, the vibe is, we don't have any time for this kind of bullshit. Yeah. And so he comes in, and I was like, you're being homophobic towards people, you're yelling at people. Yeah. And he goes, yeah, but you know how they are. And I was like, excuse me? He goes, you know how they are. I don't want them like looking at my butt and thinking. I was like, that's not, I'm not even gonna give you the time of day there. And then just to like drive the point home that he wasn't gonna come back, I said, no, we can't turn you back on. And I know how they are because I'm gay. And I just wanted to drive the point home to him.
Yeah. Fuck you, bro.
And again, the Monday after the Pulse nightclub shooting, I said, I'm gay. And he goes, and I quote, ooh, been a tough weekend for you then, huh? Get the fuck out of here. Fuck you.
Wow.
Yikes.
Dude, you should have just had that other guy beat him up.
Honestly, I could see him doing the way our desks were set up. I could see him like turning red and like starting to like, and he was a muscular big dude. I could see him like tensing up, like about to explode.
Right.
And I was like, okay, this is about to get very
for sure. We'd like no bloodshed on this one termination. Let's just move it along.
How far we've come from just all you had to do is drop off curly fries. Why is this turning into a fist fight in an office?
Don't do anything. Just hand the food and be done, and you're okay. And we had this one guy that would come in all the time. He was an older guy who was missing some teeth. But whenever he would come in, and there were some guys who were like, if you were a fresh immigrant, there was a real chance to like explain customer service culture and teach you up a little bit more on how to do the job. And then you go out and you're totally fine and it's no problem. So we would give a lot of people second chances. But this one guy came in and he was just a gruff, just older, mean dude. And whenever we would turn his account off, he would come in holding his SAG card and he would say, I'm a SAG actor. I'm a professional. I'm a SAG actor. And I would like pull my SAG card out to him and be like, that makes 2 of us, buddy. And everyone else at work, they were all SAG actors as well. And so like, hey, you got your SAG card? You got your SAG card? Pull it out. None of us are calling people the F word. So hey, you're gone. But I want to whenever I think of that guy, I want to use that somehow, like go into some place where I've been disrespected and be like, I'm a SAG actor. Look at the SAG card. Don't talk to me that way.
It's like the same guy who comes in, like, I have hundreds of domains.
Hundreds of domains. Can you draw? That's all I need.
He's like, yeah, I'm sure you do. I'm not really sure how that pertains to what we're doing right here, right now. I understand that you're sad. So am I, if that helps.
Yeah.
That's that doesn't sound like a good time.
That job, I mean, it sucked. It was whatever. But then we all got laid off one day, and
Okay.
I was like, okay, this is a blessing in disguise.
Yeah.
I hate this job anyway.
Mhm.
I think I was like 29 or 30.
Mm.
And I was like, you know what? I've been working a day job for 8 years.
Mm.
I just got laid off. I got, a severance or whatever,
Yeah.
which was a paltry severance
Sure.
for the way severance should be given. It was like a quarter of what should have
Yeah.
been given. But I remember I got laid off, and I sat in my car and I was like, you know what? This is a blessing. This is a blessing. And I went home and I changed and I went to Runyon and I hiked on top of Runyon. I looked out over LA and I was like, this is the last day job I'm going to have. I'm going to give it everything I have with comedy.
Mhm.
And I was totally wrong. I could not have been more wrong. I was
For
so
sure.
wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, you did give it your all. I mean,
I did.
I'm sure you very well.
I was wrong. I was just wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, I love those moments, like you fucking look into like, one of these days I'm gonna own this city.
Yeah. And the city looks back like, no, you are.
Yeah. Hey, fuck you! Don't fucking look over here. Idiot. Hope you die. All right, sorry, city. I'm actively trying to kill you.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's great. Just to it's nice to live your own, but that empowers you for a few weeks, days.
It should have been a couple of weeks. It turned into like me being unemployed for about 2 years and like
Nice.
driving for Postmates and picking up like catering gigs and background gigs and trying to make it work. And I was like, yeah, this is not sustainable. This is not
Oh yeah,
good.
you do eventually. You do kind of need to know that there's money coming, and you want to kind of know how much it is.
Right, and you like to be able to plan for the future and things like that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
So it didn't work out. It did not work out the way I wanted it to.
Now that's what this podcast is all about. It did not work out the way I wanted it to.
And that's the way life goes.
So how did you get the job? How did you get into it? I mean, had you had management experience before?
So whenever I left the ad agency and I went to work at Hulu,
okay,
because we brought in this like contractor designer who was a younger woman who was a little bit closer to my age.
Yeah.
And after a couple of weeks of contracting there, she was like, "Hey, this is fucking terrible. I'm out." And she got a design job at Hulu and like hit me up. I was like, "Hey, if I know how much you hated that place. I know it was terrible. If you just look on Hulu's website and see if there's any job that you fit, I'll recommend you." And the only job that was there was customer service. So I jumped over to Hulu and kind of rose through the ranks there and was there for 5.5 years. So I did have management experience. I did have all that, which is how I kind of, parlayed
your way into Postmates eventually.
Yeah. But I quit that job, which was the best job to that point I'd ever had, but I quit that job. And kind of
because you hiked up Runyon, you're like, this is the last.
Yeah.
This time.
This is the one. No, I got a new manager who would come from Amazon, who like put in a bunch of different rules and regulations that totally fucked the job over. And like, it was great because it allowed me to do comedy and still have a full-time job and all that.
Yeah.
And he changed all of that. So I left and I found a job at this startup, like Alpha Brain and those like Joe Rogan things, like the nootropics and stuff. So I got a job as the director of customer service at this startup.
Oh man, you get yelled at a lot there then?
Well, I didn't get yelled at, but the CEO he was an American guy that would call me mate. And I was like, okay, this is probably not going to work out.
Yeah. What a quick way to get me to hate you.
He would, all right, so today, you know what, mate, we're going to do, mate? Today we're going to answer these emails. And I was like,
that's too many mates already.
Yeah.
Are we on a ship?
Are you doing a bit right now?
So I remember I tried the products, because everyone that worked there, there was only like 8 of us, but they swore by it. And we had some customers that swore by it too. And I was like, well, if they say it works, it must be something that's good. And I tried the brain pills or whatever they were. And then I remember I went home, and it was just like in like week 2 of working there. I went home and I went to a bar and I had like maybe 2 glasses of wine, maybe. Which, if you know me, I used to drink a lot. And so I was like, I'm just going to keep it easy tonight because I got to work in the morning. And so I woke up the next day with the most ferocious hangover I'd ever had in my life.
Really?
And so I called my work. I was like, hey, I'm sick, whatever. And they're like, well, you didn't drink on the pills, did you? And I was like, yeah. And they're like, oh, you can't do that. You cannot do that. And I was like, okay, well, you should have told me that before. But
why would you not say that before?
Why would you not? Yeah.
Why wouldn't it be on the fucking box?
I mean, it was like a ferocious, like I can't open my eyes, kind of like
yeah,
my
like when your
brain
eyes
is on
made of
fire.
fucking glass, like one of those.
Yeah.
Just like
it was.
So what is
awful.
it? Just makes your brain focus on how fucking much your brain hurts. Like what is?
And believe me, I was focused. It was working for that. But
I can think of nothing but this pain.
Yeah.
This endless searing pain. Yeah,
That's what's going on with Joe Rogan every day, huh? During that
searing
podcast.
pain. But I remember I quit there for 6 weeks because after I quit there, then I got the job at Postmates. But I quit that job by saying, "Hey, this is crazy. Never thought it would happen to me, but I just booked a national comedy tour. I'm going on like a 40-city tour to do comedy, and I can't work here anymore." And they were like, "Oh, that's awesome. When can we see it? You know, obviously you chase your dreams. It's great." And I was like, "Oh, we'll be back in, I think the LA tour is like in a year, so we'll be back." It was complete bullshit. But I was like, I'm gonna, what's the most fantastic lie I can tell someone to quit?
Yeah.
I told them I booked the national like headlining comedy tour.
Right. Yeah.
So,
You're like, it's crazy. Russell Peters died, and I'm doing all his shows now.
I got all his dates. I don't know how, but yeah, I'm selling
I gotta
tickets.
go to Dubai like right now.
I can't be here. I'm sorry, dude. I gotta go.
I'm what they now call a big timer, so I got to go big timing.
Yeah,
you know, I'll
this
see you
is
guys
crazy. I don't know if you heard, but they're out of astronauts, so I gotta go.
It's a whole thing. I don't know how you didn't hear about this, but I am going to space. So
and they're doing comedy on the moon, and I'm gonna headline.
I'm headlining.
Doing an hour and a half.
But it's actually like it's like 9 hours space time. I don't know how it works.
It's a lot of act outs. That's for sure.
We'll see what happens. Yeah. A lot of crowd work.
I'm doing crowd work with the whole fucking Earth. So
yeah.
You guys can hear me.
Where do you work? What do you do for a living?
Where do you live? Indonesia. Look at this fucking guy right here down in Indonesia.
Okay.
Tsunamis and stuff. Wow. I was just thinking about what you'd roasted a guy from Indonesia for. That doesn't sound like that very nice thing to do, but
well, hey, it's comedy. It's everything's.
Listen, he's an edgy guy. You know, he's on the moon.
It'd be fun to like rotate, like to roast the Earth because it's rotating. So you're like, it'd be like your audience member keeps leaving. Well, when we get back to Cuba, I got something to say.
I'll talk to you in 24 hours, guy.
Yeah.
Or is it 12? I guess it's 12 because that's when you would see him again. I don't understand space all the way, you know.
Honestly, I don't know enough about it to say that you're right or wrong.
That doesn't matter because, you know, again, you got, so you just said like you were cool and you just literally left. You didn't have another job lined up, or you did have the Postmates thing?
I had secured the Postmates job by then. And when I got that job, they told me at the time I had like, I don't know if you guys remember, we were friends back then, but I had like that long swoopy, like Justin Bieber hair. And it looked
I think
really
I've only known the Michael Burnett with this haircut.
Okay, good. That's for the best. But when I got there, they were like, yeah, it was down to you and a guy with a big nose. And we were like, do we want big nose? Do we want Bieber hair? We chose Bieber hair. So congrats. And I was like, I'll take it. I guess I'll take it. So,
oh man, just so they're mean.
Yeah. Somewhere out there, Big Nose Freddy's gonna hear this and be like, "Son of a bitch!"
I was in line for that Postmates job.
I took your job, baby. Took your job.
I could have got laid off with the rest of them. So, and just to be clear, I mean, I guess we're kind of reaching the point where we asked like kind of like 3 closing questions. Number 1 is like, when were you done? How did you quit? So, like for the Postmates thing, like, how did you all get laid off? It was just, you know, like, was there notice? Like, all of you got laid off?
All of us except my big boss, like the big badass boss.
Got it. Yeah.
So. There were like rumblings that the company wasn't doing well, even though like the LA market was basically the only market at Postmates that was keeping the company afloat, because we were doing like whatever, like 10x the business of all the other markets combined, just because LA is a huge place. It's a car centric city, all that. So it worked out well for us, but they weren't doing well. So they laid off everyone at my position across the country. So like 58 people got laid off. And then one guy was kept in LA to do the work of everybody. So we had heard rumblings that it was going to happen. And we were like, you know, it's not us because
we're doing well.
Doing so well.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got called.
They wouldn't dare.
No, they wouldn't dare
cut a profit center. And they're like, oh, but what if we made more profit here too?
Yeah, right. But we just had a Zoom meeting one morning, and they were like, hey, so we're going to go ahead and lay off. and your severance is 2 weeks, not a month. It's 2 weeks of severance. And thanks. And that
We
way,
hate
like,
your
it was like
fucking
a
guts.
15-second conversation, and it was done.
Yeah. Because that was the 57th conversation they had.
Yeah.
They didn't care.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the bummer. I mean, because essentially that was another startup in a sense. I mean, like Postmates had like big money by then, right? But in the end, it was still in major flux.
They had big money, but I guess they weren't showing like, year over year revenue or whatever.
Oh,
they needed to
yeah.
cut costs and all that shit or whatever. But I mean, I've worked in other startups where they have. After that job, I was unemployed for 2 years and worked at a weed startup, and then moved to Austin, got a job at another startup. But that was a poorly at that time.
When the startups are really starting, it's tough. It's a real like, don't fix the printer because like we don't really have one.
So don't even worry about it.
Or we did, but we're out of toner and we're waiting for the checks to clear.
And so we can't really buy any more toner at this point.
Yeah, or any more lunch. So hope you guys brought your own today. Well, that's sad. Okay, what question number 2, and you can pick either job for this. What's one good thing you would say you took from either the Screamy copy ad agency or Postmates? What's one good thing you would say you took from that bad job?
One good thing that I took, I guess it'll be from Postmates, is just knowing how incapable most human beings are, and knowing like it just gives you such a sense of confidence. As long as you are the bar is so low, as long as you are a competent, borderline intelligent human being, then you kind of can't be stopped. And so as long as you just handle your business, you'll be okay. So I took that boost of confidence, knowing that so many more people, through either circumstances that they didn't put themselves in, or just their
being
own
an asshole.
Idiocy and being an asshole, just will never compete with you for a job. So there was a bit of confidence.
Yeah, no, I do think that actually really should be stressed, like that. Like if you have a head on your shoulders and you think sometimes about what you say or do, I mean, sometimes,
think about what you say, show up, do the job. You're probably going to be fine forever. That's all you have to do. Yeah,
you're probably going to be fine forever. It's just the degree of fine that we're looking for, after that.
Right. But knowing how low the bar was a nice thing to take from Postmates.
Okay, well then question number 3, not related to those two jobs, is I guess we're done with the pandemic. I don't know. We're wrapping things up. They're definitely putting a bow on it for sure.
I don't know.
How you been? How you doing? It's just sort of an open-ended thing.
Cool. I'm doing great. I'm thriving right now. I left LA. I live in Austin. Austin is wonderful. The opportunities that are there. I didn't realize just how burned out I was on LA after 12 years of being there.
It's a crispy place.
And I still love it, and I fully plan to come back at some point. But I just didn't realize just how much I needed like a mental break from, because when you guys have been there for a while, and it becomes normal to grind hard I know it's an overused phrase, but every single day is a struggle until all of a sudden you're rich and it's not a struggle. But until that point, every day is hard and hard and hard.
And there's a lot of people that never get.
There's not. And you find your pleasures, you find the things you like to do, you find your friends, and comedy is wonderful for that, I think. But I didn't understand just how much I needed a mental kind of reset, and it's wonderful. The quality of life is great. It's like little LA. I mean, it's still a big-ish city. It's still it's got things to do. The scene is great. The comedy opportunities are wonderful, not just in LA, but all the cities around. And I've been able to just have so much more stage time and headlining opportunities and featuring opportunities and things that would not have happened.
100% do not happen in LA. That's correct.
It doesn't matter how good you are. You just kind of have to have a little bit of luck in LA, and it's so much easier, not easier, but you know what I mean. It's more available in Austin, in that area to put some more time in and to really.
You're absolutely right. Do. That like, in LA, like it and I would assume other cities you learn this, probably New York as well. You can realize that good actually doesn't mean much. Right. That like good is the bar. You know what I mean? It's like, you're good. Who cares? Everybody who wants this is good. Right. Whereas in other places, sometimes good is like pretty good, you know, like it's not great.
Yeah.
It's not better than everybody, but it's like, oh, well, that's nice. You're not going to, do nothing but pussy jokes for 45 minutes.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Which is what I do. And that's
well, yeah, but you're a classy guy about it. That's what everybody loves.
But no, but it's that's an interesting point, because by no means am I a world-class comic, and by no means am I a comic that should be headlining in LA. But it is nice to have the opportunity to, because here, in Austin, good is okay. We'll give you a shot. Let's see what you can do.
Good is good. Good is good. Let's try it.
Yeah.
We'll give you a shot, versus you're not a huge name, so we financially can't allow you to headline the club because people aren't going to buy tickets. And so that's been really nice. It's been nice to try longer sets and to see if audiences respond and do all that. I got a good job out there working for another startup, which is nice. I work from home, so I get to relax and be cool all day. And it's be cool, like physically cool, not like I'm a cool guy.
I mean, I think you're a cool guy, but also physically not hot. Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. You're not pushing carts around. That's nice.
Exactly. No, but but Austin, it's great. I mean, I go fishing all the time, got a little kayak and just get out on the water. And so the quality of life has just gone through the roof. And it's really nice. The pandemic took me there, of course. And I didn't move there for comedy. I moved there. My girlfriend is from the area. I was like, let's go try it for a little bit. I said, sure. And it just turned out to be a really wonderful thing. And so I recommend it to everybody. Just come give it a shot. Try it just come visit. It's wonderful.
That's great. I'm so happy for you.
Yeah. Are you guys terrible, or do you sound mad?
I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine, guys. No, this genuinely, that's amazing. Like people talked about, like the Austin exodus, so to speak. But honestly, most of the people that I have heard talk about it, I did not like or respect. so it's nice to hear from, what I mean? Like someone who's like, oh, I never liked your stand-up. So I don't give a shit that you like Austin. But it's not the case with Michael Burnett. So it is refreshing and good to hear. Michael, where can people find you on the internet if you'd like to be found?
At Michael B. Burnett on all the social media websites.
Social media websites.
At the printer guy. You can find me at the printer guy.
At Toner Boy 69.
I post all my shows on Twitter and Instagram and all that. So
great. We'll put links to that in the show notes. Thank you for joining. It was a pleasure.
Yeah, it was awesome, man.
I knew it was going to be, but it was a great time.
Well, again, let me just stress, as long as I sound better than Justin, that's all I care about.
Great. So, Justin Clark. Sorry, bud.
Yeah.
New king in town.
We're actually deleting his episode after this.
Yeah. I'm sorry, guys. Listen to it now. Listen to it if you can, because we've only got a couple days, and we're just gonna delete him and everything we know about him off the record.
What if his head just slid into frame? What if you just right?
There's my boy. Well, in the meantime, everybody, I guess fuck this place.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Yeah, thanks for listening. If you had a good time, don't forget to subscribe, rate the podcast, leave a review, 5 stars, 4 stars. You can give less stars, but don't do that. I mean, you can, but just text us. It's 470-223-5627. That's 470-223-5627. You can just let it out, Get mean. We're here for you. Okay, that's it. Bye for now. Fuck this place.